Hello Mr. Green, thank you for inviting us. And thank you for willing to share some real secrets to the public through this interview. It is an honor to meet you and be able to interview you, and I'm really excited to hear what you are about to share with us today.
You are welcome. It is my pleasure and responsibility to do so.
Mr. Green, I've read and heard a lot about your phenomenal success. You are one of the extremely successful rags to riches stories. Please tell us what enabled you to raise to this levels of wealth, power and greatness.
That's a good question, and definitely a good place to start. I was born in a lower middle-class family. I migrated to the United States as a teenager with my mother and father. My parents and I barely spoke any English, and my initial years in a new country were extremely difficult. We struggled financially and did whatever we could just to make ends meet. Fortunately, years later I was given access to a three-step system, which allowed me to raise from poverty to becoming one of the giants of the tech industry. It is this three-step system that allowed me to generate billions and billions of dollars and raised me to the levels of wealth, power and greatness. Now, the one thing I called you over to share with you and to the public through this interview, and the one thing that allowed me to raise to the levels of wealth, power and greatness is this three-step system, which I'm going to share with you today. It is the three-step system that up until now, only the wealthiest people of the world, the royal families, and the rulers of countries have had access to. It is the three-step system that enabled average people to become the titans of industries, and enabled them to generate exceptional amounts of wealth. One of the most powerful people in the history who had access to this three-step system was Andrew Carnegie. If you don't know who Andrew Carnegie is, Carnegie was known as one of the builders of America. He helped shape the nation. He was the richest man on the planet at his time. He had built a huge empire and became a tycoon of the steel industry. However, Carnegie had very humble beginnings. He grew up in extreme poverty. He lived in a one-room house, and often found himself sleeping to forget the misery of hunger. To fight starvation, his family migrated to the United States. His first job was at age 13 as a bobbin boy, changing spools of thread in a cotton mill, 12 hours a day 6 days a week, in a Pittsburgh cotton factory. He worked very hard at the age of 13 in order to help support his family. A few years later, during the time where he was working as a telegraph messenger boy, he was given access to the three-step system, and as a result he became a tycoon of the steel industry, and a man of great power and affluence. He became the richest man in the world during his era. I'm going to share with you the exact three-step system, which enabled Andrew Carnegie and countless others to become outrageously wealthy and powerful over the centuries. Remember, Carnegie's journey began in a one-room cottage. If it wasn't for the three-step system, he would have spent his whole life working various small jobs, never accomplishing the great heights he had reached. And if it wasn't for the three-step system, he would have never left a mark in America's history. Another powerful man in history, who got access to the same three-step system, was a man named Aristotle Onassis. He was once one of the richest men in the world who'd overcome some tremendous adversities. Aristotle Onassis was a Turkish refugee living in Greece. During World War I, he was dragged out of his house by the army, and was almost beaten to death. All of his possessions were taken away from him and he was left without a penny to his name. He was thrown into a diseased, infectious prison cell, which was filled with human diarrhea, human feces, vomit and urine, that was left there from years of other prisoners, and of those who were currently there. He had no running water and no toilets, and he was kept there for months. Just imagine the smells in the prison.
Oh no, that sounds very terrible and disgusting.
Yes, these were the conditions he had to sleep in. And he wore the same ripped, dirty old clothing, for months on end. And on top of all of this, they beat him on a regular basis. Can you imagine experiencing such horrible adversity?
No way, Mr. Green. This is something really dreadful and very sickening that no one can ever even imagine experiencing for a second. Mr. Green, now please tell me what happened to Aristotle Onassis later in his life.
Later, he got out with nothing. He worked on a ship to get to Argentina. Fortunately, after a few years, he was given access to the three-step system, which enabled him to become one of the richest men in the world during his time. Despite his great struggle, he still managed to become one of the wealthiest people in the world during his time. He became a tycoon of the shipping industry.
Mr. Green, if I am correct, is Aristotle Onassis the person who married Jackie Kennedy after the death of John F. Kennedy?
Yes. You are right. After the death of John F. Kennedy, he married Kennedy's wife, Jackie Kennedy. You do know about the history. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Green. I once heard Jackie Kennedy married one of the richest men in the world, Mr. Aristotle Onassis, but I didn't know the misery and the hardships he went through before he became extremely wealthy and a tycoon of the shipping industry.
Yes, and today I'm going to share with you the exact three-step system, which enabled Andrew Carnegie and Aristotle Onassis to become the titans of industries, despite of them being born into poverty and having experienced many hardships in their lives. If it wasn't for the three-step system, Aristotle Onassis would never have become the tycoon of the shipping industry. And if it wasn't for the three-step system, he would have never been able to marry Jackie Kennedy, a higher-class woman who belonged to the elite group. He would have ended up broke, marrying a woman from a lower class. And there are thousands and thousands of more people across the globe, just like me, who started with nothing and later were introduced to the three-step system, which changed everything in their lives, enabling them to become the most powerful, wealthy and influential people in the world. Think about this for a second. How could these people who were born into dirt-poor families, and who had experienced the worst conditions in their lives, how could they possibly have become the titans of industries if something groundbreaking didn't take place in their lives? Think about that.
I agree with you. I'm sure there was definitely something groundbreaking that had taken place in their lives which enabled them to become the titans of industries. I see people who are born in middle-class and lower-middle-class families. They work so hard just to make ends meet, let alone becoming the titans of industries. Are you saying that the groundbreaking thing that took place in their lives was the three-step system you are talking about?
That's exactly correct. This is the simple yet most powerful three-step system. Once I share the three-step system with you, you and those who are listening to this interview will clearly understand how the three-step system which I'm about to share with you allowed average people to become the titans of industries and raise to the levels of wealth and power.
That's excellent. Mr. Green, then please proceed and reveal to us this powerful three-step system.
Before I reveal this simple yet most powerful three-step system with you, I must talk about secret societies. Because it is the system that up until now, only members of the secret societies have had access to. I'm going to reveal to you what exactly the secret societies are, and also talk about some of the wealthiest and powerful people throughout the history who are part of the secret societies. You will feel extremely surprised to see some of the famous people you already know who are members of these secret societies.
Yes, Mr. Green. That's even more interesting and super exciting. Please go ahead and tell us about the secret societies.
Yes. The one common denominator of all extremely successful, wealthy and powerful people, who have a net worth of over $100 million, and people with a net worth of billions and billions of dollars is, they are all members of various secret societies. If you read 1,000 books on how to become successful, if you go to 1,000 seminars on the secrets of creating wealth and success, you'll never hear this. And that is, all extremely wealthy and powerful people are members of secret societies. You'll never hear this in any success book, from any success guru or motivational speaker, because quite frankly, they do not know. They are not part of secret societies. They don't have that kind of money, and they are not part of that elite group of people. So the one very important common denominator of ultra-wealthy, powerful and successful people is that all of them are members of secret societies. Most people don't know that. If you look at every single member of the Forbes 400, the 400 richest people in the world, every single one of them is a member of one or multiple secret societies. People call them secret societies, but that's a bad name because a lot of them aren't secret at all. They are just clubs, they are groups, they are support structures. Clubs include, for example, the Harvard Alumni Club. Harvard Alumni Club boasts the highest number of billionaires in the world. Now, normal people aren't going to become a member of that, they didn't go to Harvard. But the majority of billionaires, actually the highest percentage of billionaires, come from this club. Think about that. Another club, for example, Yale University's Skull and Bones. The members of the Skull and Bones are called Bones Men. Skull and Bones has a building. And as a matter of fact, the CIA was started by the Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones boasts the highest number of political controllees, people that are in politics and CIA and so forth, than any other organization in the world. Both President Bushes were members of that. John Kerry, the senator, was also a member. Supreme Court justices and some of the most powerful people in the world are members of the Skull and Bones. They are proud of their memberships, and they admit that openly, but they don't reveal what goes inside to non-members. Here's a video. Check it out.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee, and look, I look forward.
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back.
Another most prevalent club, for example, Freemasonry. Members of this organization are known as Freemasons or Masons, and they are all across the world. The members put on a garb during society meetings and rituals. Henry Ford was a member of the Freemasonry. He was a Mason. The great inventor, Thomas Edison, was also a member. The founder of Firestone Tire Company, Harvey Firestone, was also a member of the Freemasonry. President Warren G. Harding, and President Theodore Roosevelt, were also members of the Freemasonry. Here is one of his pictures with the Masonic garb. Other presidents, and prime ministers like Winston Churchill, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Harry Truman, and so many other powerful presidents and senators are part of this club. And by the way, Apple co-founder, Steve Wozniak, was also a member of this club, and there are so many powerful and very influential people that are members of Freemasonry as well. So there are lots of secret societies all around the world. Most people heard about the Illuminati. It is one of the secret societies, and there is a society called the Bilderberg Group. Members of this club keep their memberships very secret. Many of the members of the Bilderberg Group are derived from both government and private organizations. Top industrialists, CEOs and politicians are members of this club. All Bilderberg meetings are held in secret. Do you want to know who the members are? You'll be surprised.
Yes, Mr. Green. I'm excited to know who the members of the Bilderberg Group are.
I'm risking my life right now by revealing their memberships. Okay, here we go. The richest man in the world, the CEO and founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is a member of this club. He has a net worth of over $140 billion. The second richest man in the world, Bill Gates, is also a member. He has a net worth of over $90 billion. The third richest man in the world, Warren Buffett, is also a member of this club. The 10th richest man in the world, Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, is also a member of this club. And there is Peter Thiel. He is a co-founder of PayPal, and he is also one of the Facebook investors. Guy has a net worth of over $2.5 billion. He is also a member of this club. And there is former CEO and chairman of Washington Post, Donald Graham, is also a member of the Bilderberg Group. He has a net worth of over $500 million. These are some of the powerful, influential and super wealthy individuals who are part of this Bilderberg Group. And there are many more whose names you wouldn't even recognize. Almost all tech giants are members of this group. And finally, the largest, ultra-secret, legendary and almost mythical shadow world government secret society, which is kind of at the pinnacle, is called the Brotherhood. And the Brotherhood is a unique society because it keeps its membership very secret and it keeps its existence very secret. Andrew Carnegie was a member of the Brotherhood. Henry Ford and his descendants have also been members of the Brotherhood. Aristotle Onassis was also a member. John D. Rockefeller and his descendants have also been members of the Brotherhood. And the current President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has also been a member of the Brotherhood. The bottom line is, all powerful, super wealthy and ruling class people of the world are members of the secret societies. Even the royal families of the world are all part of one or various secret societies. They are part of that elite group. There are other clubs and associations around the world as well. For example, even the clubs like the country clubs. You know, there are country clubs out there that costs huge amounts of money to join. There is one club I know where the initiation dues, one-time initiation dues for joining this private country club is $5 million. And there is $1 million a year dues. You won't get anything for that, except the ability to go to the clubhouse. If you want food, that's extra. And if you want to play golf, you have to pay extra as well. You won't get anything for the money you pay, except the ability to go to the clubhouse. Now think about this. Why would somebody pay $5 million to join a country club and $1 million a year dues? And what is in these clubs and societies that enabled very average people to become the tycoons of industries? And what is it in these clubs and societies that raised average people to the levels of power and greatness?
$5 million to join a country club? And $1 million a year in dues? That is definitely a lot of money. Mr. Green, please tell us what's in it for these people that they pay that kind of money to join and be a member of these country clubs. And please tell us what is it in these secret societies that turned very average people into the titans of industries.
Well, the reason people join these secret societies, clubs and organizations and pay that kind of money is because these societies consist of a unique three-step system I was talking about. See, when you join a club, whether it is a Freemasonry, or Skull and Bones or one of the private exclusive country clubs, or the Harvard Alumni Club, you will get access to the three-step system. It is this three-step system that every member of a secret society has access to, and it is this three-step system that enabled average people to become the titans of industries. This is the exact three-step system that I got access to, which raised me from poverty, and enabled me to accumulate billions of dollars, and now I'm going to reveal the same three-step system to the public through this interview.
Mr. Green, may I know what is the three-step system? May I know what are the 3 steps?
Yes, listen to me carefully from now on. I'm going to reveal to you clearly each part of the system, and help you understand each part step by step in great detail. The first part of the three-step system is called the secret knowledge. Since hundreds of years, secret societies have been in existence. And the members of the secret societies, which is the super wealthy elite, royal families and the ruling class of the world, they all have access to the secret information, the secret knowledge, that normal people outside the societies can never get access to. Most people already know the fact that there are few elite families in our world who basically control the whole planet. Just so you know, there are actually 2 types of elite class out there. You have the elite class that is benefiting the society, and then you have what's called the parasitical elite class, which lives off of society. Unfortunately, the parasitical elite class is the majority. I will give you more information on this later. But keep in mind, basically the parasitical elite class controls the media, electric industry, transport, food, banking, health and medical industries and so forth. Since hundreds of years, this parasitical elite class of people did not want an average man to have access to the secret knowledge that they have access to. They don't want the secret knowledge to be released to the masses. They did not, and still do not want a common man to know the secret knowledge that they have had access to since hundreds of years. For example, did you ever read the book or see the movie, The Secret?
Yes, sir. I saw the movie The Secret. The Secret talks about the law of attraction.
Yes. That's right. The movie The Secret talks about the law of attraction. It is really the first movie ever to reveal the law of attraction to the masses on a wide scale. All the people in the world who knew about the law of attraction learned about the law of attraction from the movie, The Secret. Now here is the point. The movie The Secret came out in the year 2006. That's about 12 years ago. People who learned about the law of attraction had no idea about the law of attraction 12 years ago. No one knew about the law of attraction before the movie The Secret. But do you know that the members of the secret societies knew about the law of attraction since hundreds and hundreds of years? The same fact is also mentioned in the very beginning of the movie The Secret. The movie shows all of the greatest and most legendary people in the history that knew about the law of attraction. People like Beethoven, Abraham Lincoln, Emerson, Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein and so forth. Every single one of them were members of the secret societies, and they all knew about the law of attraction from the very beginning. Now think about how far behind is the average individual, who only got to know about the law of attraction just a few years ago. Meanwhile, the members of the secret societies, the elite class of people, have known about it since hundreds and hundreds of years, and have been using it to their advantage. And do you know that there are still billions of people on this planet who still do not know anything about the law of attraction? Imagine how many more years it will take for the whole world to find out about it. Earlier I mentioned how since hundreds of years, the parasitical elite class kept away the secret knowledge from normal people, and I also mentioned how they did not, and still do not want common men to know the secret knowledge that they have had access to since hundreds of years. The same fact is also mentioned in the movie The Secret. Here is that clip from The Secret. Watch it.
Throughout history, all the great minds, all the great leaders, all the great achievers, they had something in common. now the great glimmering of truth can be revealed again.
That is really eye-opening. So, Mr. Green, the secret knowledge you are talking about, is it the law of attraction?
No. The secret knowledge I have mentioned is far beyond the law of attraction. I will get to that shortly. So, the first part of the three-step system, the secret knowledge I was talking about, is not the law of attraction. The law of attraction is actually not a secret at all. The law of attraction is basic stuff, kindergarten stuff. The law of attraction is a very small concept compared to the actual secret knowledge that members of the secret societies know about and have access to. It has been estimated that almost 95% of people who applied the techniques that they learned from the movie The Secret did not get any results. Think about this. If the law of attraction was the real secret, then everybody who knew about the law of attraction would become just like the greatest people you saw in the clip from the movie The Secret. The truth is, there is more to the law of attraction. There is more secret information and knowledge that is way beyond the law of attraction. The real secrets, where the rubber meets the road, have been kept away from the masses by the parasitical elite class of people. The parasitical elite, they do not want the real secret knowledge to be released to the masses. Now, this should raise a question. Why does the parasitical elite class keep the secret knowledge hidden from the public? Why? Why do they do that? Why do they not want people to have access to the secret knowledge that they have access to? Why? I will explain that to you in just a few minutes. But before that, let me tell you about something really significant that took place over 100 years ago. This is a really important piece of the puzzle that most people have no idea about. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard about Napoleon Hill or read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
Yes, sir. I have read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Great. You're about to learn some interesting and eye-opening facts now. At the turn of the century, the richest man on the planet was Andrew Carnegie. We already talked about Andrew Carnegie in the beginning of this interview. Andrew Carnegie owned U.S. Steel. He was a Scotsman. This was a time before TVs and telephones and transatlantic air travel. It was a much slower time, and he became the richest man in the world in the steel business. He was a member of the Brotherhood. He knew the powerful secrets and techniques, and he utilized them. As Andrew Carnegie's life progressed, he said, "You know, the things that helped me rise from poverty and propelled me to success, to excellence, to wealth and fortune. I would like to have those powerful secrets and techniques that I have used. I want them to be codified and documented in an easy-to-understand format, so more people could learn how to achieve what I have achieved. I want to help normal people turn into wealthy and powerful individuals." So, Andrew Carnegie decided to reveal to the world some of these secrets and techniques. In 1908, Andrew Carnegie commissioned a young man by the name of Napoleon Hill. And he said to him, "I'm going to teach you some of these techniques. But I want you to observe that these techniques are not mine, but are used by the richest people in the world." Carnegie said, "I'm going to introduce you to Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Cornelius Vanderbilt, John D. Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, Firestone, and a lot of the other people you won't even recognize, but at that time those were the most powerful and richest people in the world." Carnegie said, "I'm going to introduce you to these powerful people. You will have an opportunity to interact very closely with them. And I want you to study them for the next 20 years. Then, I want you to write a manuscript describing the principles they have used to become the titans of industries." Carnegie wanted this manuscript to be purely focused on money. He instructed Napoleon Hill not to just interview them, but to follow them, watch their every move, and live in their back pocket. He instructed Napoleon Hill to observe what they eat, when they sleep, what they do all day, who they meet, how they shake hands, how they talk, and what they talk about. He wanted Napoleon Hill to live in their back pocket and pick their brain, and study them like he has never studied anything in his life. Then he instructed Napoleon Hill to write a report on any common denominators they all had, so that he can pass it on to the public, and as a result, anyone can achieve wealth, power, and greatness, just as these titans of industries did. Never before in the history of mankind has this occurred. The one and only time it has happened in the history of mankind, where the richest man in the world gave a 20-year commission to a gentleman and said, "I want you to study the richest people on the planet for the next 20 years. During those 20 years, Napoleon Hill was amazed at what he was taught by Andrew Carnegie, and what he observed and learned from John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and some of the other richest people in the world at that time. Never before in history had someone spent 20 years of their time studying, watching, observing, and learning from the wealthiest and most powerful people. After 20 years of research, he found the principles, the techniques and common denominators of these tycoons of industries, and he put it all in volumes called The Law of Success. Here's the thing. A lot of people think Napoleon Hill first wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. That's not what he did. Napoleon Hill wrote volumes called The Law of Success, and the original writings were released in the 1920s. Napoleon Hill gave a speech at the Washington, D.C. Chamber of Commerce early in the century, where he made a very profound statement. Napoleon Hill said, when people started reading and when he started teaching these Law of Success volumes to people and people started applying them, he said he was so frightened at the speed at which people were able to achieve massive amounts of wealth and success. He said that it worked so powerfully, so quickly and so effectively, in a way that it frightened him. He was blown away by the fact that any person could take this formula, apply it in their life, and very quickly start to generate massive amounts of wealth. He was so amazed at the speed at which this would happen in the lives of people who applied it. As the story unfolds, some of the super wealthy people like Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, whom Napoleon Hill have studied and wrote about, and from whom he took the secret knowledge from, were not very pleased to see Napoleon Hill sharing these volumes The Law of Success with the public. In fact, they were completely disappointed, and they were deeply upset and frustrated with Napoleon Hill sharing these secrets to the public. Because bear in mind, these people had major corporations which they needed the working class for. They are the parasitical elites. They did not want people to have big goals, big dreams, and big desires. They did not want people to be entrepreneurial, and want more out of life. They needed a working class to show up for work every single day. They basically said, if we keep these volumes of secrets on the market, we are going to show people how to become the titans of industries. We are going to show them how to create exceptional wealth. And we don't want that. We want them to be where they are at. We want our workers to be happy with being where they are, and we don't want them to rise up to the level we have raised to. Now listen to this carefully. These parasitical elites, even today, they want to keep people where they are at a lower level, and they want people to live an average life and be content with it. They don't want to allow anyone outside their groups to evolve and rise to the levels that they have raised to. The bottom line is, they want to keep people enslaved, and always keep people at a working class level. Henry Ford himself said, "Who will work in our factories, if everyone knew this information and raised to our level?" This is why the parasitical elite class do not want you to know the true secret knowledge. They want control and exercise power over you, and never allow you to achieve massive levels of wealth, power and greatness. Now back to Napoleon Hill's story. The same parasitical elite class were not happy with Napoleon Hill sharing these secrets to the public. Before I mentioned that the parasitical elite class, unfortunately, is the majority, so they all got together. Keep in mind, most of them control the media, publishing houses, manufacturing and so forth. That's just how it works, because when you learn this secret knowledge you pretty much become a tycoon of an industry. So, a group led by Henry Ford, who opposed revealing these secrets to the public, said, "We don't want this book out there." And they used their power and influence to actually get the book pulled off of the shelves, and they stopped selling it. Later in 1937, what Napoleon Hill did was, he dumbed down the original writings, and he created a watered-down version called Think and Grow Rich. And again, same thing happened. It was pulled off the market, and edited and watered down dramatically, and again most of the key elements from the book were taken out. And again this was spearheaded allegedly by Henry Ford. Think and Grow Rich is a tremendous book. It sold millions of copies and people get a lot of value from it. But most of the important principles and most of the vital information was taken out. The real secrets where the rubber meets the road of enabling people regardless of their age, sex, education, religion, socioeconomic status, the real formula for creating massive amounts of wealth and success, was taken out from the book Think and Grow Rich. Common people, because they are not part of the secret societies, they don't know this history. And they can never get their hands on this secret knowledge. They can't get their hands on these original volumes. Only members of the societies have access to these original writings, which had been passed down generationally by the members of the societies throughout the history.
Mr. Green, I have a question. Why is it important to one's success to follow the original information, over watered-down information like Think and Grow Rich?
That's a wonderful question, and I'm glad you've asked. Here's the answer. Let's say you want to make a delicious chocolate cake. And you have an exact original recipe, which shows you how to make a delicious chocolate cake. And if you follow that original recipe exactly, you'll get a delicious chocolate cake. Am I right?
Yes, sir. You're totally right.
Yes. Now let's say the chef whose recipe it was, did not want other people to make the same delicious chocolate cake he made, so he took out some key ingredients out of that original recipe, and changed the recipe completely. You've now got a watered-down recipe. And when you follow that new watered-down recipe exactly, what will you get? Would you still get the same delicious chocolate cake?
No sir. I would get something else. I don't think it would be a delicious chocolate cake anymore because I didn't follow the original recipe, I followed the watered-down recipe.
Exactly. You didn't get the delicious chocolate cake because you followed the watered-down recipe, which was put out by the chef who did not want people to make the same delicious chocolate cake he made. Same here, when Napoleon Hill first published his original writings, his original recipe, and when he taught it to a group of people, he himself said that it worked so quickly, so powerfully, and so effectively that it frightened him. The ordinary people who followed and applied his original recipe generated massive amounts of wealth at record speed. So just like the chef whose recipe it was, did not want other people to make the same delicious chocolate cake he made, and took out some key ingredients from that recipe, Napoleon Hill had to take a lot of key information out of his original writings, and turned it into more watered-down information and put it in the book, Think and Grow Rich. He watered it down not because he did not want people to know the real secret knowledge, but because he was under pressure and stress that was put on him by the parasitical elites, who did not want people to know their secrets and raise to their level. Therefore the people who read these watered-down books and applied it, they won't be able to create massive levels of results like those who read the original writings and applied it.
Wow, that makes perfect sense, Mr. Green. It totally makes sense.
Yes, a common man, which is people outside the secret societies, can never get their hands on this original recipe, the real secret knowledge. And there is so much more information that only members of the secret societies have access to, which keeps them on top of everyone else. And they make sure the knowledge doesn't get out into the public, because they don't want you at their level. They want you to be happy with where you are at. And they want you to be content with living an average life. And you can't get this information from success gurus and motivational speakers because, quite frankly, they do not know. They never made billions of dollars, and they are not part of us. They are not part of the secret societies, nor are they part of the elite group of people. If they knew what we know, they would be among us.
Mr. Green, so, please tell me, how could a common man get access to this original recipe? How can normal people get access to the secret knowledge which up until now only members of the secret societies have had access to?
Good question. I'm going to reveal this to the public by the end of this interview.
Excellent.
So, the first part of the system is the secret knowledge, and getting access to it is one of the reasons why people join secret societies and join country clubs and pay millions of dollars. They get real knowledge and real secrets that will yield them immense results. This is the secret knowledge that can turn an average Joe into a powerful tycoon of an industry.
Mr. Green, now please tell us, what is the second part of the three-step system?
Yes, the second part of the three-step system is called the Mastermind Alliance. This is an extremely important and most essential part of the three-step system. Most people might have already heard the word mastermind, and some of them think that they already know everything about it. But they simply don't. You will discover the real meaning right now. Before I talk about the Mastermind Alliance, I want to tell you something very significant. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever hear about the redwood trees in Muir Woods of San Francisco? Did you ever hear about redwood trees?
No sir. I have never heard about the redwood trees.
Well, the redwood trees are the tallest and the largest trees on planet Earth. The Muir Woods has hundreds of such trees. They are the most gigantic trees soaring to the sky. Some redwood trees are so wide, it takes 30 grown adults holding hands to make a circle around one tree. These redwood trees grow in groups, and they grow higher and higher, soaring to the sky. The redwood trees are the tallest, widest and strongest trees in the world. They are so wide and so high, but interestingly enough, their roots do not go deep into the ground. Generally, for most trees, in order to get the strength not to fall down, the roots have to grow very, very deep into the ground. For instance, the roots of a palm tree grow as deep in the ground as the tree is above the ground. Now, the question is, how do they stand? How is it possible for such giant trees with their roots not at all deep, to withstand thousands of years of storms and even earthquakes and not fall down? San Francisco is an earthquake place. Any normal tree would get crushed instantly, but not the redwood trees. They've been standing tall and strong for thousands of years despite the natural calamities. So, how do they stand? Here is the secret. The secret is, the roots of these redwood trees, when they grow outward under the ground, and reach out in all directions to connect with the roots of the other redwood trees. When the roots come in contact with each other, they keep wrapping around each other, creating a strong bond. So the roots of all the redwood trees, they are all interconnected with every other redwood tree in the forest, creating a massive network of support. And by doing so, the strength of one tree becomes the strength of all the trees combined, because they are all interconnected. They support each other and give each other strength. One tree's strength provides and accesses the strength of all the other trees. By supporting each other, they all grow into something that any other kind of tree can never grow into on its own. Now, there is a reason why I'm giving you this redwood tree example. There is a lesson these redwood trees are trying to teach us. The lesson is on unity and teamwork. Unity is strength, and teamwork makes the dream work. Andrew Carnegie talks about teamwork this way. Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common purpose. The ability to direct individual accomplishments and strengths toward organizational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. This quote defines exactly how redwood trees function, doesn't it? All redwood trees interconnect with each other, and work toward a common purpose. Their common purpose is to become the tallest, the widest, the strongest, and the most unbeatable trees on the planet. So they direct their individual strengths and support to all the other trees, in the process of attaining their grandest common purpose. By doing so, as a group, they become the strongest and most powerful trees than any other trees that exist on the planet. It is this fuel of teamwork that allowed these trees to achieve uncommon results despite their roots not being deeply rooted into the ground. It is this fuel of teamwork that allowed these trees to become the tallest, the widest and the strongest trees on the planet that grow for thousands and thousands of years. Every single redwood tree knows that in order to achieve their grandest purpose, they need the strength and support of all of the other redwood trees. They know they cannot do it alone. Now, members of the secret societies operate by the same modality. Every member of the society connects with and supports every other member, and they all work toward a common purpose. Their common purpose is to become the wealthiest, most powerful and influential people in the world. So they use their individual strengths, accomplishments, knowledge, power and influence to support and give strength to each other in the process of attaining the grandest purpose. By doing so, the strength of one member becomes the strength of all the members combined. As a group they become unbelievably powerful and influential than ever before. It is this fuel of teamwork that allowed Andrew Carnegie and Aristotle Onassis, and hundreds of other average people to achieve uncommon results. Members of the societies understand very well that in order to achieve their grandest purpose, they need support and cooperation from other members of the society. Not just from any other people but from those who have the same common purpose. Every single member in the society knows clearly that they cannot achieve anything substantial and monumental all by themselves. Outstanding achievement is impossible without the friendly cooperation of another. You might have heard the phrase, "the sum is greater than its parts." Same here, the members as a group, they are stronger than any individual member is by himself. Because there are more skills, more knowledge, more talent and more influence available. Therefore, weaknesses are counterbalanced, resulting in the team accomplishing more than any individual could achieve on their own. When a member in the secret society succeeds or accomplishes something, all the other members in the society celebrate that achievement. Because the team as a whole becomes much stronger and much more powerful. The member who succeeded now in return uses his power and influence to help support other members in the society. They can now too take advantage of his power and influence to get to the next level. For example, let's say if one of your family members becomes a billionaire or a president of the United States, wouldn't you celebrate his success and use his power and influence to help yourself raise to the next level? And when you raise to the next level and accomplish something big, wouldn't that add more power to your family? Same here, members of the societies work as one family and help each other achieve exceptional success. Let me give you another example. Warren G. Harding was the 29th President of the United States. He was a member of the Freemasonry secret society. He became a president with the support and cooperation of other wealthy individuals like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Firestone and other wealthy people who are also members of Freemasonry secret society. So when Warren G. Harding became a president, all members of the Freemasonry celebrated his achievement, because they all became much stronger and much more powerful from having a president in the group. President Harding then used his newly claimed position and power and influence to support other members of the society in their pursuits. This allowed other members of the society to use his power and position whenever they needed it. People like Henry Ford, Firestone, Thomas Edison and other wealthy people at that time They used President Harding's power to change some laws and regulations in the government to favor their businesses. This then allowed them to create massive amounts of wealth. President Harding did everything he could to support them because he knew the group was becoming more and more powerful as a whole, and in return so was he, because he was also a part of it. The society members know that with the support and cooperation, they succeed unbelievably faster and easier. The society members, by supporting and directing their individual accomplishments and strengths with every other member, they grow together, and they grow into something that no person can ever individually become on his own. They are 100% certain about the fact that, without the cooperation and support of other members, reaching massive levels of exceptional success is impossible. You can only do so much on your own. Therefore they sincerely value and stick to the power of teamwork. Now, normal people outside of the societies, it is really hard for them to succeed or achieve anything substantial, because they do not have the type of support and network that members of the societies do. Not only do they not have any people around them that support and encourage them, they have the exact opposite. They have people around them who pull them down. Think about it. Most people have family members, relatives and friends who do not express even an ounce of support or any kind of encouragement. They have people around them who simply do not believe in them. People outside of the societies, they can never get any real support or true cooperation from the people around them. A person without any support nor cooperation is like a single stick. Now, what do I mean by a single stick? Let me explain. Think about a bundle of sticks. You cannot break them with your bare hands. They are so strong and so powerful and unbreakable. Now, think about a single stick. It is weak and delicate all by itself. It can be broken very easily into little pieces, just like that. So a person without any support nor cooperation from other like-minded people, is like that single stick. He is weak and powerless all by himself. Now, attach the same single stick to an existing bundle of sticks. What happens? Now the single stick has got the power and the force, the strength and the energy of all the sticks in the bundle combined. What did you observe? Just a moment ago, the single stick was very delicate and very fragile. It was weak and powerless. It could easily be broken into pieces. But now, by joining the existing bundle of sticks, it became unbreakable. It became extremely powerful and strong, due to the collective strength of all the sticks in the bundle. As we discussed before, redwood trees operate by the same modality. They support and give strength to every other tree. That is why they are the tallest, the widest and the strongest trees on the planet. And members of the secret societies operate by the same modality, and that is why we are the wealthiest, most powerful and highly influential people in the world. You don't get to experience this tremendous advantage of being a part of a mastermind alliance outside the societies in regular people's lives.
Mr. Green, for many of the people who are watching this interview right now, the idea of joining this sort of mastermind alliance could be something that they would like to be a part of. So, my question is, how can a normal person get this advantage and this level of support?
That's a good question. I have something I will share by the end of this interview.
Excellent.
Another important aspect of the second part of the three-step system, the mastermind alliance, is that members of the societies always associate and surround themselves with other members of the societies only. If you look at the most powerful, wealthy and influential people in the world, they always surround themselves with other powerful, wealthy and influential people only. They do not interact with normal people who are not part of the societies whatsoever. They might spend some time with normal people here and there, but most of the time, they surround themselves with other members of the societies only.
Why is that, Mr. Green? May I know the reason behind it?
Well, there is a universal law called the law of conformity. This is the most important law that members of the secret societies obey very strictly. We 100% accept and comply with this law called the law of conformity. So what is the law of conformity? The law of conformity says that a person becomes just like the people he surrounds himself with. You might have heard the phrase, "You are the average of your 5 best friends." This phrase is absolutely true, because our mind is constantly syncing, unconsciously and automatically, with the mindset of the people around us. Therefore we become just like the people we surround ourselves with.
Mr. Green, so if someone wants to become ultra-wealthy, powerful and extremely successful, and if he surrounds himself with middle-class or low-income people, he will never be able to become what he desires to become, because of the law of conformity. Did I get that right?
Yes. That's absolutely correct. Not only will he never be able to become what he desires to become, he will end up being a middle class or a low-income fellow, just like the people around him, because of the law of conformity. We become just like the people we surround ourselves with. Scientific research also proves how this works from a biological standpoint. In our brain we have what's called a mirror neuron system. This mirror neuron system copies and mimics the behavior and attitude of people around us. As a result of that, we automatically become just like the people we spend most of our time with. Did you ever hear the phrase monkey see monkey do? That is what we are talking about. Because of the mirror neuron system, we are constantly modeling and mimicking the behavior of the people we spend most of our time with. This happens automatically at a subconscious level, whether we are aware of it or not. Therefore, if you surround yourself with average people, who are struggling to make money, who always have just enough to get by, who think small and are unhappy with their life, guess what? You will subconsciously and automatically become just like them, whether you like it or not, because of the mirror neuron system in your brain. Period. The good news is, the opposite is also true. This means that, if you surround yourself with incredibly wealthy, powerful and successful people, you will automatically and subconsciously model and mimic their attitude and behavior. You will then easily, and effortlessly, become just like them, because of the mirror neuron system in your brain. You will just conform to those people and become just like them because of the unwavering law, the law of conformity. Law of conformity, it makes us all become just like the people we surround ourselves with. We can't help but conform, whether we like it or not. It is a law and it cannot be changed. Let me share a really quick story with you.
One of my favorite stories is about a man. Now this man is walking down a path and finds an egg, an eagle's egg. He takes this egg and puts it into the nest of a backyard hen. Pretty soon the eagle hatches with the chicks and grows up with them. Now all his life that eagle did what the chickens did. He would poke around in the dirt looking for worms and insects to eat. He would fly a few feet into the air like chickens do, and he'd cluck around. And as time passed, that eagle, he grew very old. And one day, he saw something above him. This thing, it glided gracefully and majestically through the clouds. "What's that?" the eagle says. "Oh, that's an eagle," one chicken responds. "He is the king of all birds, the master of the skies. But we belong to the ground because we are just chickens. Don't worry about him, you will never be that." And that eagle lived and died a chicken because that is what he thought he was.
That is really an eye-opening story, is it not? The eagle was born to fly gracefully and majestically and be the master of the skies. He was born to be a symbol of courage, pride, determination, and grace. But unfortunately, he died as a weak, fearful, poor, and cowardly chicken because he surrounded himself with birds of a lower degree. He just conformed to them and believed himself to be the same and of the same lower level. He never got to reach his fullest potential as an eagle. So the eagle lived and died a chicken. What a waste of life. I would love to address those who are watching this interview right now. My dear friends, it is the same with all of you. You were born an eagle. You were born to accomplish substantial and monumental things in your life. You were born with infinite potential that you have never tapped into. But you are surrounded by average and lower thinking people. You are surrounded by average people who are like chickens. Most of you are surrounded by people who have no goals and no dreams. You are surrounded by people who are always negative and are comfortable living a very ordinary life. Most of you are surrounded by people that think poor thoughts, people that have low standards and have no desire whatsoever to achieve anything substantial in their lives. And most importantly, most of you are surrounded by people who have a very hard time making money and are financially unhappy almost all their life. And as long as you surround yourself and scratch with these chickens, with these average people, you are going to automatically and unconsciously become just like them. Whether you like it or not. Like that eagle, you will end up living an average life, never reaching your potential, because of the law of conformity, and because of the mirror neuron system in your brain. Remember this, and remember this very well. You are always becoming just like the people you surround yourself with. You see, the law of conformity is a law, and it cannot be changed, just like the law of gravity. Knowing that the law of gravity exists, you don't want to jump off of a building to see if you can fly, because, you know 100% you are going to fall down and break your bones and die. Same here. Knowing that the law of conformity exists, you do not want to surround yourself with average, and, lower income people, because you are going to conform to them and become just like them. We all know the TV host and TV mogul, Oprah Winfrey. She has a net worth of over $4 billion, and she is one of the successful rags to riches stories. She is one of those people who were born in dirt poor families and experienced many hardships in her life. And yet, she became one of the most extremely powerful and successful people in the world. She knows the power of the law of conformity. She talks greatly about how surrounding yourself with negative and average people will never allow you to reach your dreams. Here is a short clip from her. Check it out.
I had to do a clearing in my life of some people whose energy I realized was not supportive of who I wanted to be in the world. And I recognized that there are people who are not going to take responsibility for their energy, so I now have to take responsibility for the energy that I allow to be brought into my space. Life-changing for me. And what I know is that you cannot continue to move forward in your life to the level that you need to be if you're surrounded by energy that brings you down, that sucks the life force from you. So not only are you responsible for the energy that you bring, is what I learned, you're also responsible for the energy that you surround yourself with. Huge, 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 huge. And everybody who's watching me right now, I know that you know this is true. There are some energy suckers in your life. Just literally taking the life force out of you. And you will never be able to do and be who you're supposed to be in the world as long as you continue to buy into the energy suckers.
That's a perfect message from a very successful and praiseworthy individual, is it not? You might have heard the phrase, birds of a feather flock together. You don't see an eagle, a parrot, and a dove flocking together. You see birds of the same feather flock together. So, eagles always surround themselves with other eagles. They don't surround themselves with chickens or other kind of birds. They maintain that standard. In the same way, the most powerful, wealthy and influential people, they always surround themselves with other powerful, wealthy and influential people only. They do not flock with average people and conform to them and lower their standards. They travel together. They do business together. They play sports together. They counsel each other. They have fun together. They go camping together, and they always surround themselves with other powerful and wealthy people only. In other words, they always surround themselves with other eagles who fly at the high altitude. As a result, they end up being an eagle, and not a chicken. This way they always keep conforming to the right people and maintain their level. Aristotle Onassis, we already talked about him. He once said, if he would ever go broke, the first thing he would do is surround himself with powerful and super wealthy people to regain all his wealth back. Now let me repeat that. He said that if he would ever go broke, the first thing he would do is surround himself with powerful and super wealthy people to regain all his wealth back. Now why did he say that? He said that because he knew the power of the law of conformity, and he complies to it because he was a member of the Brotherhood. Society members strictly obey this law. He knew that by surrounding himself with super wealthy and powerful people, he would just conform to them subconsciously and become just like them, very easily and automatically without any effort. He knew that it was the fastest way for him to regain all his wealth back. So, when someone becomes a member of a secret society, not only do they get access to the secret knowledge that will enable them to generate massive amounts of wealth, they also get to surround themselves with wealthy and powerful people. Therefore they simply conform to them and become just like them, wealthy and powerful. This is the advantage that enabled average people like Andrew Carnegie, Aristotle Onassis and thousands of others, including myself, to raise to the levels of wealth and power because of our very close interactions with other wealthy and powerful people. So, the two important lessons that you have learned from the second part of the three-step system is, number 1, the power of unity and teamwork. Remember the bundle of sticks story? And number 2 is the law of conformity. Very, very important. I believe you are learning something new and getting a lot of value from what I'm teaching you here today.
This is really eye-opening information you are sharing with us today. It is really simple yet unbelievable, and I'm sure those who are watching this interview right now are getting a ton of value. Thank you, Mr. Green.
You're welcome. It is a great pleasure and honor to reveal this to you and to those who are watching this interview. Okay, now let's move forward, shall we?
Yes, Mr. Green. It is time for you to reveal the third part, the last part of the three-step system.
Yes, the third step of the three-step system is called wealth generation. By the way, this is the most essential part of the three-step system. So, what does wealth generation really mean, you ask? Let's start here. Since members of the societies surround themselves with other members who have the same common purpose, they conduct businesses with other members of the societies only. They create businesses together, and also invest in businesses and ideas of other members. Members of the societies, they always have access to what's called ground floor business opportunities. It is through these ground floor business opportunities that members of the societies are able to generate massive amounts of wealth.
Mr. Green, can you please tell us what is a ground floor business opportunity and how does it enable members of the societies to generate massive amounts of wealth?
Yes. A ground floor business opportunity is when a business or a company is in its beginning stages, allowing those who invested at the very beginning of the business to generate massive amounts of returns in the foreseeable future. Let me repeat that. A ground floor business opportunity is when a business or a company is in its beginning stages, allowing those who invested at the very beginning of the business to generate massive amounts of returns in the foreseeable future. Let's take Facebook for example. When Facebook was in its very beginning stage, Mark Zuckerberg needed an investment. He approached his friend, Eduardo Saverin, who was also a part of Harvard. Mark Zuckerberg presented the idea of Facebook to Eduardo Saverin. Eduardo liked the idea and invested over $15,000 in Facebook, and that bought him about 53 million Facebook shares. Remember, the 53 million shares of Facebook in the very beginning was equivalent to $15,000. The value of each share was not even worth 1 cent in the very beginning. It is some $0.0002. So, Mark Zuckerberg got the investment he needed to go forward and expand his business, and his friend got the equity he needed. It was a win-win for both parties. Years later, Facebook filed for IPO, and the company went public. And soon after the company went public, the value of each Facebook share increased. And one single share was worth over $41. And now let's do the math, and see how much Eduardo Saverin had generated the moment the company went public. That is 53 million shares, times $41, which equals to over $2 billion. The return on his overall investment ended up being over $2 billion. That is over $2 billion. This guy literally turned $15,000 into $2 billion. Later he sold all his shares, took the $2 billion, and flew off to Singapore. Today each Facebook share is worth over $190. Had he kept the shares and not sold them, his return on investment would currently be over $10 billion. Here's an article about him on the Forbes website. Check it out. He was able to make over $2 billion out of a $15,000 investment because he invested in Facebook when it was in the very beginning stage. This is the best example of a ground floor business opportunity. And this is how members of the societies generate massive amounts of wealth through these ground floor business opportunities. Today each Facebook share is worth over $190. If you were to invest that same $15,000 in Facebook today, forget about 53 million shares, you would only get around 80 Facebook shares. And you couldn't make billions out of it because it is not a ground floor opportunity anymore. The company is not in its beginning stages anymore. Let's assume Mark Zuckerberg is your friend, and let's say you invested $1,000 in Facebook when it was a ground floor opportunity. Today you would be having a net worth of over $650 million. Think about that. Another best example of a ground floor business opportunity, and how someone can get super wealthy through a ground floor business opportunity is the famous Bitcoin example. I'm sure you have already heard about Bitcoin and how some people made millions of dollars out of it. I know one of these guys. He is also a member. In 2010, when Bitcoin was worth around 40 cents, he invested over $7,000, and bought himself 17,500 Bitcoins. And today each Bitcoin is worth about $6,500. Let's do the math and see how much returns he has generated. That is 17,500 Bitcoins, times $6,500, which equals to over $113 million. The return on his overall investment of $7,000 is now over $113 million. He made $113 million out of a simple $7,000 investment. He is able to make $113 million out of a $7,000 investment because He invested in Bitcoin when it was in its very beginning stages. He invested in it when it was a ground floor opportunity. If you were to invest the same amount today, forget about 14,000 Bitcoins, you wouldn't even get a couple of Bitcoins to rub together. Now, let's assume you invested over $1,000 in Bitcoin when it was a ground floor opportunity in the year 2010. That would give you over 2,500 Bitcoins. Today you would be having over $16 million worth of Bitcoins which you can turn into cash anytime you want. There is another member I know, who invested about $9,000 in a similar company 2 years ago. This company will be going public next year. And the moment the company goes public, he will be making over $27 million. This is the power of ground floor business opportunities, and this is how members of the societies generate massive amounts of wealth and become outrageously wealthy and successful. I can give you one example after another. Now, think about an average guy trying to make money. They have to go to school, study hard for years and years to get good grades, and wastefully invest tens of thousands of dollars on college. What do they get after that? Nothing. Zero returns guaranteed. Even a job is not guaranteed. They basically waste all their money on college learning basically nothing. They never achieve financial freedom. Even if they get a job, they basically slave away their whole life never achieving financial freedom. Normal people outside the societies, they can never get access to these incredible ground floor business opportunities. Even if they have a business or a business idea of their own, it is really difficult for them to get an investment because they are surrounded by average people who don't have the same purpose and are comfortable living an ordinary life. They are not capable of generating such opportunities nor invest if you have a business idea. You might have heard the phrase, your network is your net worth. That is absolutely true. Since members of the societies have a huge network of connections with other members, where everyone is working toward a common purpose of becoming exceptionally wealthy and successful, hundreds of ground floor business opportunities and ideas are generated. These are the most incredible and tremendous ground floor business opportunities, for the members to invest and co-participate in where they can generate massive amounts of wealth. The members who create new companies and businesses will get benefited, because they are getting an investment, and the members who are investing also get benefited, because they are investing in a ground floor business. Members also co-found companies together. This is how members support each other and generate massive amounts of wealth together and become powerful as a group. The members of the societies have endless opportunities to keep generating more and more wealth. The opportunities that members of the societies have access to are totally unfair compared to the opportunities that people outside the societies get. Now imagine yourself having access to such ground floor business opportunities. Imagine how much wealth you would be able to accumulate with just one single opportunity. Just one.
Mr. Green, you are right. From what I'm hearing, the opportunities that members of the societies have access to are totally unfair compared to the opportunities that people outside the societies get. It's really unbelievable.
Yes, up until now only members of the societies have had access to such opportunities, but today, I'm going to reveal how an average Joe can get access to such kind of opportunities, and generate massive amounts of wealth as well. So hang tight for that. Alright, so this is the three-step system. This is the three-step system that members of the societies have access to. This is the three-step system that the super wealthy and powerful people I mentioned in the beginning, from Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, John D. Rockefeller, Thomas Edison, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, and all the billionaires in Forbes 400 have access to. This is the system that the elite and ruling class of people have had access to since thousands of years. This is the exact three-step system that turned average people like Andrew Carnegie and Aristotle Onassis into the titans of industries. It turned them into the most wealthy and powerful people on the planet despite of them being born into extreme poverty and experiencing the worst conditions in their lives. In the beginning, I told you how could these people, who were born in dirt-poor families and who experienced the worst conditions in their lives, how could they possibly have become the titans of industries, if something groundbreaking didn't take place in their lives? Remember that? And the groundbreaking thing that took place in their lives, which took them from living a poverty-stricken life to becoming the titans of industries, is this simple yet extremely powerful three-step system. And it is this same three-step system, which raised me from the levels of poverty, and allowed me to become one of the giants of the tech industry. It is this three-step system that enabled members of the societies achieve exceptional levels of success. This is why people join secret societies, because they get access to this simple, yet, most powerful three-step system. You know, we talked about the country clubs that require people to pay $5 million for initiation, and $1 million yearly dues. I have a membership in one of these clubs. You only get access to the country club building for that money. If you want to golf, that's extra. If you want food, that's extra. Then why would someone pay $5 million for initiation and $1 million yearly dues? It is because of the three-step system that they get access to from being a member of the club. Members share knowledge and insider information with each other. They get to connect and expand their network, and surround themselves with other powerful and wealthy members who are also part of the club. They flock with each other, they support each other and reap the benefits of ground floor opportunities that arise from these connections. This is why someone would pay $5 million for initiation and a $1 million yearly dues to be a part of the club, because they understand the power of the three-step system. You see, up until now, only a few elite groups of people in this world have had access to this three-step system compared to the 5+ billion people on our planet. People outside of the societies do not have that kind of money to be a part of a club, nor have access to the three-step system, because they were born into what's called the failure system, which 99% of the entire world population was born into and is a part of.
Mr. Green, may I know what you mean by the failure system which 99% of the world population are part of and born into?
Yes. Now listen very carefully. It is very important for those who are watching this interview to understand what I'm about to share right now. There are only two types of systems in this world, and every single individual is a part of one of them. The system you are a part of will determine whether you will be financially free, wealthy, happy and outrageously successful, or whether you will be slaving away your whole life, and always struggling for money and for everything in your life. Those who are watching this interview right now are about to find out which system they are a part of. So what are those two systems? The first system is called the proven success system, which is the three-step system which members of the societies are a part of. And the second system is called the failure system. It is also known as the slavery system, which people outside the societies are a part of, and that is 99% of the world population. I'm going to share with you the differences now, and you will understand how the system you are a part of will determine whether you will be exceptionally successful, or whether you will be slaving away your whole life never accomplishing any major success. Here are the differences. People who are a part of the proven success system have access to the secret knowledge. They have access to the real recipe which allows them to create massive amounts of wealth and exceptional success. The knowledge they have access to will always keep them at the top. It keeps them ahead of everyone else. This is why we are called the 1% elite, or the 1%ers. On the contrary, people who are part of the failure system, they do not have access to the knowledge that will allow them to create massive amounts of wealth. Since they do not have the real secret knowledge that members of the societies have access to, they will always be left far behind. Just look at regular people's lives, doing small things and living an average life. You have evidence of this all around you. Next, people who are a part of the proven success system are plugged into a network of wealthy and powerful individuals. They receive strong support and cooperation from those wealthy individuals, who are committed to seeing each other reach levels of exceptional success. On the contrary, people who are a part of the failure system, they are part of a world filled with average and low-income people. They don't have any kind of support nor cooperation from others. Such people are all alone. They are like that single stick which is weak and powerless all by itself. Such people can never achieve exceptional success nor anything substantial, because they don't have support and cooperation from other wealthy and powerful people. Next, people who are a part of the success system, they understand and strictly obey to the law of conformity. Therefore they only surround themselves with other wealthy and powerful individuals. As a result, they always get to conform to those people, and easily and effortlessly become just like them, wealthy and powerful. They will end up living the life of an eagle. On the contrary, people who are part of the failure system, they are surrounded by chickens, they are surrounded by family, friends, teachers, neighbors who are constantly struggling to make ends meet. They are surrounded by people who are leading very average lives. As a result, they easily and effortlessly conform to these average people and become just like them. They become average, and end up living the life of a chicken because of the law of conformity. Next, people who are a part of the success system, they have access to many ground floor business opportunities, which allows them to accumulate massive amounts of wealth very easily, with little to no effort. On the contrary, people who are part of the failure system, they have very limited and minor opportunities in their lives. These minor opportunities will always keep them in a state of not having enough money. And they work incredibly hard just to make ends meet. Next. People who are a part of the success system, they are so well off and ultra rich. Money is never an issue. They never, not once, worry about money. They never go a day in their life struggling for money, it doesn't even come to mind. And therefore they live a richer, happier and a more beautiful life, having absolute freedom to do whatever they want to do. On the contrary, people who are part of the failure system, they constantly struggle just to make money and to get ahead in life. They worry about money every single day. They always worry about not having enough. The experience of having enough money eludes them forever. Therefore they live a very average and low-level life, having no freedom whatsoever to do what they want to do. They basically go through life sacrificing all of their dreams and desires. These are the main differences. If you have noticed, members of the societies who are part of the proven success system, they have every single advantage to become not just successful, but exceptionally successful. It is totally impossible for them not to become successful. For them success is inevitable, period. And if you observe, people who are part of the failure system, which is basically all people outside of the societies, they have every single disadvantage standing in their way. They have so many stops and blockages just to become successful, let alone becoming exceptionally successful. It is almost completely impossible for them to become successful. Failure is inevitable to those who are part of the failure system, period. This failure system, also known as the slavery system, it is purposefully put on people by the parasitical elite class, to always keep people in a lower state, and never allow people to raise to the levels that they have raised to. I'll go into more depth about this in the future. But common people who are watching this interview right now, they weren't part of the success system. They didn't have access to the three-step system right from the beginning. The sad truth is, they are all part of the failure system. They are all part of the slavery system. Like Carnegie and Onassis, I was born into the failure system too, and I have been a part of it up until I got access to the three-step system. My life is different now and I have achieved substantial things in my life, because I made a transition into the success system, which allowed me to generate massive amounts of wealth and have incredible connections with so many powerful and wealthy people across the world.
Mr. Green, you mentioned that 99% of the world population, which includes every single person who is watching this interview right now, is a part of the failure system. And I clearly understand why
Like Carnegie and Onassis, I was born into the failure system too, and I have been a part of it up until I got access to the three-step system. My life is different now and I have achieved substantial things in my life, because I made a transition into the success system, which allowed me to generate massive amounts of wealth and have incredible connections with so many powerful and wealthy people across the world.
Mr. Green, you mentioned that 99% of the world population, which includes every single person who is watching this interview right now, is a part of the failure system. And I clearly understand why failure is inevitable to those who are part of this failure system. And I also see how they have every single disadvantage and roadblock to become successful.
Yes, but it doesn't matter if they've been a part of the failure system up until now. What matters is, which system do they want to be a part of from this moment forward? I wanted to talk about a guy by name Chris Hughes. Most people don't know about him. He is one of the co-founders of Facebook, and he generated a net worth of over $500 million. That's $500 million. Now, Chris Hughes came from just a regular and an average middle-class family. His parents worked so hard to make ends meet, and they constantly struggled for money. As you can see, he was born into the failure system. He was a part of the failure system just like everyone who is watching this interview right now. He didn't have the real recipe for creating wealth and success. He was surrounded by average and normal middle-class people. He didn't have any support nor cooperation from others, and he had very few minor opportunities in his life. He thought he was going to get a job and slave away his whole life. He thought he was going to work very hard to make ends meet just like his parents did. His life changed years later when he got scholarship to get into Harvard. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity which completely transformed his life. In reality, Harvard is a huge club. Harvard is like a country club. Most people don't know that. So, getting into Harvard allowed him to shift from being a part of the failure system to being a part of the proven success system. Because of this transition that he made, he got access to a ground floor business opportunity, which was Facebook in its very beginning stage. He helped build Facebook and became one of the co-founders. By the way, he did not invest any money, he just helped build Facebook. This one ground floor opportunity enabled him to generate over $500 million. Here's his quick video. Check it out.
You start the book by talking about how you grew up, which is very different circumstances than you're in now. What was it like?
So I grew up in a little town called Hickory, North Carolina. It's in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And my mom was a public school teacher. My dad was a traveling paper salesman. And we grew up pretty much as middle class as they come. We went to church almost every Sunday, and weekends were spent doing housework. My parents worked hard to make ends meet. I got a scholarship to go to a fancy boarding school and then later on to Harvard. And while there, roomed with Mark Zuckerberg. And the Facebook story took off. The rocket ship rise has been well documented, and my life dramatically changed. I went from being part of the middle class to very much being part of the 1%. Specifically in the book, I talk about how I made nearly $500 million for 3 years worth of work.
It is just amazing how this works, is it not? As I told you before, success is inevitable if you are part of the success system. You'll have every single advantage to become not just successful, but to become exceptionally successful. Is the incredible power of this three-step system starting to kick in yet? Andrew Carnegie and Aristotle Onassis, and thousands of other wealthy people who started with nothing, including myself, we are all evidence that shows how an average Joe can become outrageously rich and successful from being a part of the success system.
Mr. Green, I'm sure most of the people who are watching this interview right now, after learning the difference between the failure system and the success system, probably have a real deep desire to become part of the success system.
Yes, up until now only members of the secret societies have been a part of the success system. But today, we made it possible for common men to be a part of it, and reap the same benefits.
Mr. Green, I want to ask you this question. You are one of those who belong to the 1% elite. Why are you sharing this information and the three-step system with people? What's in it for you? And why do people have to trust you on this?
Well, I have just revealed to you the exact three-step system that we the members of the societies have access to. And I have to tell you, as a result of being part of this extraordinary system, I have created immense wealth and success for myself. And earlier we talked about how 99% of the world population are part of the failure system. These people are born into normal middle-class families. All of them deal with financial struggles almost every single day. They work so hard just to make ends meet. Their lives are not filled with real happiness and joy, for they live their life sacrificing their dreams and desires. You see, I have two options in my life. One was, I can simply be blind to not caring about how normal people are struggling, and continue to do whatever I've been doing and basically mind my own business. And option two was to reach out to those who are part of the failure system, and impact their lives by giving them an opportunity to be a part of the success system. You see, Andrew Carnegie, after becoming exceptionally wealthy and powerful, after reaching a certain position in his life, he saw the lives of the normal people and the struggles they were going through, and he decided to impact their lives. He wanted to enable them to become wealthy and successful as ever before. This is what I choose to do at this point in my life. But there was this one challenge which we are all facing. And that is, remember I told you that we have the controlling parasitical elite class that is controlling the world? Elite that is controlling the medical industry, the food industry, the media, banking. They basically own every central bank in the world, and they control almost every industry you can think of, including the government. Most people don't know that. Now remember this, the only goal of this parasitical elite class is to gain more power, more money and control over people and the world as a whole. They possess trillions and trillions of dollars. To this parasitical elite class, having more power and control is more important than the overall well-being of the people. I repeat, to this parasitical elite class, having more power and control is more important than the overall well-being of the people. It is their most primary objective. As long as the only objective of this parasitical elite class is to control the world and gain more power, money, and have control over people, they will use all of their power and influence to prevent any forces or individuals that would threaten or defeat their primary objective. If any common person shares the truth which puts the power and control of these parasitical elite class at stake, that person will be attacked viciously, or they will murder that person if they feel it is necessary to keep their power and control. Other times, since this parasitical elite class control the media, they will destroy the reputation of the person telling the truth, by telling lies, and by spreading false information through the media about that person. For example, there is a guy by name Alfredo Bowman, also known as Dr. Sebi. He invented a natural cure for cancer, AIDS and diabetes, and he began to completely heal so many people. This news was brought to the attention of the parasitical elite who control the medical industry. Bear in mind, this parasitical elite generally make trillions and trillions of dollars from this medical industry throughout the world. Since the primary objective of this parasitical elite is not to benefit people, but to gain more money, power and control, they murdered Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi was killed because if his cure got greatly exposed to the people, that would be a huge threat to their objective because there is no money for them to be made in the cure. The money is in the sickness. The money is in keeping people sick. If the cure got greatly exposed to the public at a larger scale, and people got to heal themselves completely once and for all, the medical corporations that are making trillions of dollars by keeping people sick would go bankrupt, and the parasitical elite's power and control over this industry would be greatly diminished. Another example is the electric industry. Most of you know about Nikola Tesla and the free energy technology he invented. With the technology he invented, the whole world can have access to an unlimited free electric supply. People would never have to pay electric bills every single month. And there wouldn't be any need to cause a lot of damage to the nature in order to produce the electricity. There are so many people on this planet right now, who are far more brilliant than Nikola Tesla, who have redeveloped the free energy technology. These people who have redeveloped this technology, they have been bribed to not to disclose this technology. And some of them were threatened and were forced to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and some of them even got killed. This happened to one of the physicists we were working with a year ago. And again, the electric industry is controlled by the parasitical elites. This industry makes billions of dollars every year just in America alone, and it makes trillions of dollars globally. So since the real objective of the parasitical elite class is not to benefit people, but to gain more money, power and control, they would either bribe the person who invented the technology to not to reveal it, or eliminate that individual altogether, because there is no money for these parasitical elites to make from free energy. If this technology came out into the public, that would be a huge threat to their objective. All their power and control would be wiped out. These are the same parasitical elite class that do not want people to have access to the secret knowledge, and it was the same group of elites who had pulled off Napoleon Hill's original writings off the market, because they don't want anyone to raise to the levels that they have raised to. They want you to stay where you are, at a low level where no major achievements are made. The bottom line is, as long as we have these parasitical elite with these objectives controlling the planet, this planet will never change. There is always going to be suffering, there is always going to be poverty, there is always going to be disease and war, there is always going to be hatred between people and between nations, and the peace will never arrive, on this planet. And it's our children and grandchildren, that will have to live on this polluted and corrupted planet. Think about this. It says a lot about the world we are in right now, that I cannot even openly disclose the top-level secrets, which will massively impact the lives of people without being concerned about the severe threats I might receive as I do it. That's why I have to reveal this system secretly. Those of us who took a challenge before, to openly reveal this kind of information to the public, are being threatened in so many ways. Now, let's go back to the main question. So why am I sharing this 3-step system with you? What is in it for me? It is actually what is in it for us. Because I'm not doing this alone. We are a group of wealthy and powerful individuals, from various societies like Freemasons, the Illuminati, Skull and Bones, the Brotherhood and so forth, who have got together and decided to share this 3-step system with people. We got together with a grand purpose to really impact and change the world once and for all. We wanted to change the world, and we want to change the way it is right now. One of the major things that we as a group decided to do, which will impact the world tremendously, is to create a private society, in which people can become a part of and get access to the exact 3-step system, which up until now only the elite class of people have access to. Remember, the parasitical elite do not want a common man, an average Joe, to raise to the level they have raised to. But we are here to enable and support a common man and allow them to raise to the levels we have raised to. By providing people with the secret knowledge, the real recipe for generating wealth and success, they too can rise to levels of wealth, power and greatness. By providing them with the ability to network and build powerful connections with other extremely successful people, they too will get the support and get to conform to the right people and become what they have become. And through these powerful connections, they too can get access to the ground floor business opportunities, through which they will be able to generate massive amounts of wealth. and by allowing common men to be a part of this proven success system, and by providing them with every single advantage to become exceptionally successful, they too will rise to the levels of greatness, and become outrageously wealthy and powerful. And as a group, we will all become remarkably powerful and stronger than the parasitical elite. Once we reach that position, we can all come together and work toward a positive objective, of changing the world to a better place for us to thrive in, and for future generations to come. That's what's in it for us. That's our ultimate purpose, and we are all very proud of ourselves for sharing this system with people through this interview, and giving them an opportunity to be a part of a private society.
That's a spectacular and a very inspiring purpose you have, sir. Really impressive. Mr. Green, I have another question for you. People who are watching this interview right now might be thinking if they can really achieve these extreme levels of success and generate a great amount of wealth. They might be thinking if they can really raise to the levels you have raised to. What will be your answer to them?
That's a great question, and I know as a fact that most people do think that way. And here is my answer. Abraham Lincoln said, that some achieve great success, is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. Now let me repeat that. That some achieve great success, is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. Think about this. If one person can make a delicious chocolate cake, then anybody can make a delicious chocolate cake. All you need is the exact original recipe, which allows you to make a delicious chocolate cake. Am I right?
Yes, sir. You are right.
Same here. If people who were born into extreme poverty and experienced severe hardships were able to become exceptionally wealthy and powerful, then anybody can become wealthy and powerful. All you need is the exact recipe, which allows you to become exceptionally wealthy and powerful. And that exact recipe is the three-step system. You see, just a few decades ago, there were only 40 billionaires in the United States, and now there are over 550 billionaires just in the United States alone. And there are thousands and thousands of millionaires born every single month, and most of these people have started with nothing. And on top of that, with all the tools and technology we have available today, it is even easier to become extremely wealthy and successful than it was back in Andrew Carnegie's era. The stories you hear about people who started with nothing and were able to create massive amounts of wealth, these people did nothing. The system was already there, and all they did was, they just became a part of it. I did the same, and now all of the people who are watching this interview are going to get the same once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do exactly that. The bottom line is, if one person can do it, you can do it also. All you need is to be a part of the success system. Success is inevitable if you are a part of the success system. You will have every single advantage to become not just successful, but exceptionally successful.
That's quite an empowering answer. And I'm sure it builds a lot of confidence in so many people to dream a bigger dream.
Thank you. From this point forward, I would love to address those who are watching this interview.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Friends, there are 3 things you need in order to succeed in this. You need secret knowledge. You must have access to the secret knowledge that the extremely powerful and wealthy elite class of people have access to. You need the original recipe. The original information that frightened Napoleon Hill, when he saw the speed at which average people who applied it were able to generate massive amounts of wealth. You need the secret knowledge that enabled very average people to become the titans of industries. The knowledge that put average people into the rich and the powerful positions. Where else would you get this secret knowledge from? From success gurus and motivational speakers? They themselves do not have access to this secret knowledge, nor have they ever made billions of dollars. If they knew the real secrets, they would be among us. They would be one of the wealthiest people. They are not part of us, nor do they know what we know. You need the secret knowledge that the parasitical elite do not want you to know about. Remember what Henry Ford said? You need the secret knowledge, period. Next, you need a mastermind alliance. Remember the redwood trees? And do you remember how they all share a common purpose and support each other in accomplishing that common purpose? You must be a part of a group of people who share the same bigger purpose of creating massive amounts of wealth, power and success in their life, and who are willing to support each other in the process of accomplishing their collective purpose. You need support. You can never become outrageously successful if you do not have the support and cooperation of other like-minded individuals. Remember the bundle of sticks? Andrew Carnegie says this himself, that no man can become outrageously successful who wants to do it all by himself. That man is like that single stick, which is weak and can be easily broken. Next, do you remember the law of conformity? You can't surround yourself with chickens. You can't surround yourself with lower-minded and average people and expect to become super rich and powerful. Birds of a feather flock together. If you want to be an eagle and fly at the high altitude, You must surround yourself with other eagles who are already flying at the high altitude. If you really desire to be rich and successful, you must surround yourself with powerful and wealthy people so that you can conform to them, and become just like them. Automatically, and effortlessly. Do you remember what Aristotle Onassis said the first thing he would do if he would ever go broke? He said the first thing he would do is surround himself with the richest and the most powerful people, in order to regain all of his wealth and power back. He was a member of the Brotherhood, therefore he strictly complies to the law of conformity. You must surround yourself with wealthy and powerful people. You need a mastermind alliance. Next, we talked about the importance of ground floor business opportunities. You can only get these ground floor business opportunities from people whose main purpose is to generate massive amounts of wealth and success. Such people are capable of creating spectacular ground floor opportunities. You cannot get these opportunities from average people who are comfortable with their regular 9-to-5 jobs. Remember Eduardo Saverin? He made a $2.5 billion return on a $15,000 investment. And Chris Hughes made over $500 million without actually investing anything. He just helped build Facebook. If you want to generate massive amounts of wealth, you need ground floor business opportunities. This is just how wealth is generated. This is how members of the societies make billions and billions of dollars, easily with very little to no effort, while the rest of the population struggle to make ends meet and are not able to break out of the rut. The bottom line is, you need the entire three-step system. You need to be a part of this proven success system that up until now only the elite class of people have had access to. And again, success is inevitable if you are part of this success system. You will have every single advantage to become exceptionally successful. And guess what? If you continue to be a part of the failure system, you are at every single disadvantage to become successful, and failure is inevitable. Period. Consider yourself as fortunate because you are going to be a part of the same success system, which enabled very average people like Andrew Carnegie and Onassis to become the titans of industries. And it is the same success system that allowed me and thousands of normal people across the globe to raise to the levels of wealth, power and greatness. And today, it will allow you to do the same. Dear friends, I know as a fact that almost all of you have received tremendous value today through this interview. And for those of you who are really serious about becoming a part of this success system right from today, I would love to share with you the private society that we the members from various secret societies have put together. This will allow you to be a part of the same success system, which up until now only a few groups of elite class of people have been a part of, compared to 7+ billion people on this planet. Therefore consider yourself as fortunate, because now you can be a part of this success system, and raise to the levels we have raised to.
Mr. Green, I'm sure people who are watching this interview right now are really excited to learn about this private society. Please proceed and reveal it to us.
Yes. Dear friends, I believe you are excited to know about this private society which I'm about to reveal to you. Introducing to you, the Global Information Network. The Global Information Network is also known as GIN. The Global Information Network is a unique private and exclusive members-only global society. GIN has members from United States, UK, Canada, India, Asia, Europe and almost every country you can think of. GIN has thousands of members in over 125 countries all across the world. The Global Information Network was initially founded by 30 wealthy and powerful individuals. They were all billionaires as well as powerful political figures and royal families from all across the globe, and they are all members of the various higher-level secret societies and groups. As I told you before, up until now these elite clubs, societies and groups have only been available to members of the privileged elite class only. At this point in your life, you do not have $5 million to become a part of these elite higher-level secret societies and groups. So we decided to form the Global Information Network, and make this club accessible to everyone, and provide them the same success system which will allow them to become wealthy and powerful as ever before. There is no club out there, like the Global Information Network. For example, one of the members we have in the Global Information Network is Mr. Ed Foreman. Ed Foreman is one of the most successful men in the American history. He is the only man, in the last 100 years, to have been elected to the U.S. Congress from 2 separate states. He had close working relationships with 6 United States presidents. He also has an amazing successful business enterprises in real estate, restaurants, and land oil and gas development. He has an amazing array of investments and successful businesses. He is an exceptionally successful man. He is one of the most powerful and influential individuals who is a part of this club. You'll have the privilege of meeting him, surrounding yourself with him and build a powerful relationship with him. Another gentleman, for example, is Kevin Trudeau. He is one of the founders of the Global Information Network. He was born in Chicago to a lower middle-class family. His father was a welder, a blue-collar worker. Kevin Trudeau was given access to the same system very early on in his life. As a result of that, with the opportunities that were presented to him, he built a global business empire which has generated over $3 billion. He was a member of the Brotherhood, which is one of the most elite secret societies that exist. He is one of those powerful individuals who openly left the Brotherhood, and decided to reveal all of the secrets for the good of all and to better the world as a whole. He is the major backbone to this club. So these are some of the most powerful individuals who are a part of this club. The people you can meet famous politicians, celebrities and so forth. We have members that are connected with celebrities, very famous celebrities. We have members that are connected with billionaires, politicians and so forth. Very powerful people. Jinn members have the ability to meet members of royalty, that you would never have the chance to meet otherwise. All because you are a member of this club and are part of the success system. It is an amazing club to be a part of. The members of the Global Information Network are like a family, where you are surrounded by and have access to thousands of siblings all across the world who are wealthy and powerful. It is as if you basically have siblings in your own family who are remarkably successful in every industry you can think of. Imagine having a brother or a family member who is a billionaire. By becoming a member of the Global Information Network, you basically gain a whole family of powerful siblings who are there to support you, and are willing to help you and are rooting for your success. You cannot get this kind of true cooperation and support anywhere else. Remember the redwood tree story I shared? Members of the Global Information Network surround themselves with other members of the club only, because they know the power of the law of conformity. They celebrate each other's achievements and life together, they go fishing together, they go golfing together, they travel together, they mastermind and seek guidance and counsel from each other, and they create ground floor business opportunities and do business together, and support each other in becoming wealthy, powerful and influential as ever before. Members of the Global Information Network tend to surround themselves with other members of the club only, and they pledge to help other members first. Members of the Global Information Network, they work toward a common purpose of becoming more wealthy, more powerful, and attaining exceptional success. They support and build each other up in the process of achieving their grandest purpose, just like the redwood trees. Remember the phrase birds of a feather flock together? If you want to be outrageously wealthy, powerful and successful, these are the people you must flock with. You see, we want to make Jinn available to anyone who is ready for it, but the Global Information Network is not for wannabes. You need to qualify to become a member. If you want to continue to flock and scratch with chickens and surround yourself with average people, and continue to live and die an average life, Jinn is absolutely not for you. If you continue doing that, you will continue to be a part of the failure system, and you will never be able to raise to the levels we have raised to. You'll never be rich, you'll never be happy and successful. Failure will keep haunting you as long as you are part of the failure system. But if you have a massive desire to raise from the levels you are in right now, into the levels of wealth, power and greatness, if you want to flock with people who are wealthy, brilliant and successful, if you want to create a fantastic, a richer and more dynamic life, this club, the Global Information Network, is for you. I'm sure most of you have this desire, or else you wouldn't be watching this interview this long. Therefore I congratulate you for that. I congratulate you for having a desire to be, do, and have more. You are extremely fortunate right now to be presented with this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to become a member of the Global Information Network, and gain immediate access to the same success system that up until now only the elite class of people have had access to. My dear friends, here is what you need to start. The proven 3-step success system. The system is tested over centuries. It is proven to work perfectly over and over again. Step-by-step process and based on thousands of years of results. And here is how I can help you today. Everything you need is provided. We have built the club in a way that even a person with zero experience can get into it and produce massive levels of results. And that is exactly what we want anyway. We want you producing massive levels of results, and we roll up our sleeves and support you in the process of you achieving magnificent results. When you become stronger, other members will become stronger, and when other members become stronger, the whole club becomes stronger and powerful with countless incredible successes than ever before. When you become exceptionally successful, we become powerful. The more members we can empower, the more powerful we become as a whole. This is what in it for us. My dear friends, here are all the things you will get today. You will get access to the Success Mastery course. You know, all the secret knowledge we talked about is put into the Success Mastery course in a step-by-step, easier to understand format. You are going to get that today. You'll get information in step-by-step audios and step-by-step videos format. The Success Mastery course is the real deal. This is where it all starts. You are going to get the real secret knowledge and the real recipe today. You will get access to our online library, which contains of incredibly powerful books. Just the library alone has a collection of material that is worth collectively over $3 million. You are going to get that today. You will have access to jaw-dropping secrets and books and manuscripts. We have so many powerful and incredibly successful members in the club. You get to build some strong and lifelong relationships and surround yourself with these powerful people. This is huge. You will get to participate in our major events that we conduct twice a year. We have members from all over the globe that come and participate in these major events. It's just a lot of fun. It's one of the most fun and uplifting experiences you can ever have. You will get to network and build connections and mastermind with the wealthy, powerful and successful members from all over the world. You'll be taught the real secrets on how you can generate powerful business ideas, which will have the potential to generate billions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Or let's say if you come up with an idea for a business, or if you already have a startup, and you require an investment, you can immediately share this ground floor opportunity with other members, and create massive amounts of wealth together as ever before. You get joint venture opportunities. There are so many joint venture opportunities that are made available to GIN members only. The opportunities which members get from being a part of this club are totally unfair, compared to the opportunities that people outside of the societies get. It is an amazing club to be a part of.
This is so unbelievable, Mr. Green. Joining and being a member of the Global Information Network sounds like an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yes, indeed. My dear friends, everything you need is provided. You get the full proven success system. Now, what do we think when we think about the system? In the outside world, people think about getting a college degree or an MBA. People go to college, wasting tens of thousands of dollars a year. You'll need to pay over $60,000 for a bachelor's degree. And if you want to get an MBA, that's over $100,000. You will see so many people who finished college, came back out, and they couldn't even get a job. What is the return on their investment? Nothing. It is zero. If anything, most people come out of school with massive debts that they struggle to pay off. Even if they get a job, they have to basically slave away their whole life working for other people and never achieve wealth and success. They basically have every single disadvantage to succeed because they are still part of the failure system. They don't have access to the secret knowledge, they don't have the support and cooperation from other wealthy and powerful people. And most importantly, they don't have access to the ground floor business opportunities. Failure is inevitable for those who are part of the failure system. Period. But if you join this private and exclusive society, the Global Information Network, and begin to be a part of the success system, you will be so much further ahead than anybody who has an MBA or any degree. Because unlike them, you will have every single advantage to become exceptionally successful. The opportunities you will receive as a member are enormous. Success is inevitable, if you are a member of this club. Today, you have the opportunity to get access to the exact system that up until now only the elite class of people have had access to. You are going to be a part of the system that only a privileged few are a part of, and these are all enormously wealthy, powerful and successful people. And most of these elites have started with nothing. It is this system that enabled them to achieve all that they have achieved. This success system is proven to work over and over again throughout the history in turning average people into the titans of industries. And today, it will do the same for you. It will allow you to create enormous wealth and success. And ultimately, you will become a part of that elite group of people. This is exactly what the parasitical elites are completely against. They do not want you to raise to the levels that they have raised to. They want to keep you where you were at. They want to keep you at a working class level. They want you to live an average life and be content with it. But the truth shall prevail. The Global Information Network is providing you with the same system that only the powerful elite class of the world have had access to, and if you get into it and become part of it, you too shall become one of the elites. And that is our purpose anyway. The reason why we formed this club, and the reason why we are finally revealing the system is because, we do not want you at the level you are at today. We want you at the level we are at now and beyond. We want you playing at the highest levels. We want you to be wealthier, happier and powerful as ever before. And we want you to live a spectacular and magnificent life. And we are here to help support you to reach the levels we are at today. Friends, the secret knowledge you are getting today You know, we literally pulled out the information from various higher level societies that we are a part of, and we made it available to you. You have the real recipe today for generating massive levels of wealth and success at a record speed. The value of the secret knowledge alone you are getting today easily has a value of $37,997. You are going to get some powerful secret knowledge today. And friends, I can't stress the importance of having support and cooperation from other powerful people and being able to surround yourself with them. You are getting that today. The value of the Mastermind Alliance that you will get to be a part of by becoming a member of the Global Information Network is alone worth over $49,997. You get to build strong and lasting relationships and network with some powerful people. And next, the wealth generation. I already mentioned how members make billions of dollars and hundreds of millions of dollars through these ground floor business opportunities. We already talked about how it works earlier. The value of the ground floor business opportunities that you are going to get access to by becoming a member easily have a value of millions of dollars. But for now, let's just say $200,000. Just one single opportunity has the potential to change everything in your life and make you ultra rich and powerful. This is just how it works. Friends, the total value of the system you are getting today is altogether $287,994. The real value of the system you are getting today is $287,994. That's almost $300,000 in real value. Absolutely everything you need to catapult you to the levels of wealth, power and success. Absolutely everything you need to stop living an average life and turn you into the most powerful and outrageously successful individual. And my dear friends, this is just the beginning. Down the road we are going to add more and more incredible value to the club. Down the road we are going to have clubhouses and villas all around the world available for members only, for absolutely free. We are going to have private yachts, private planes for members, and even a bank available exclusively for members of the Global Information Network. And there is so much more. Bottom line is, you are my number one priority. Our mission is to create thousands of powerful, wealthy and successful individuals in the next few years all across the globe, and we take it very seriously. I already told you why and what's in it for us. The Global Information Network is so powerful, and if you become a member, others who are not part of it are going to be jealous of you, and they will be extremely shocked at the speed at which you will be able to achieve wealth and success. And guys, trust me, once you reach that higher level, it feels so good to look back and see the faces of those people who never believed in you, who never believed you were different and capable of achieving greater success. I am sure almost all of you have such people in your life. Remember this. Success is the best revenge. Once you become a member of this club, success is inevitable. Like I said before, you'll have every single advantage needed to become successful in the palm of your hand. It is simply impossible to fail. So how much does it cost to become a member of the Global Information Network? You see, we talked about the country clubs that require you to pay $5 million for initiation and $1 million yearly dues if you want to become a member. And today, right now, you are getting the same system that the members of these clubs at the highest levels have access to. I also mentioned earlier that the total value of the system you are getting today is over $287,994. The average country club in the United States alone costs around $60,000 a year fee toward the membership. So how much does it cost to become a member of the Global Information Network? If you are watching this interview right now, you must be thinking it could cost you a fortune. No, we want to make this club affordable. We want to keep this club available and most importantly affordable to everyone who wants to become a member. Therefore, to join the Global Information Network, there is a one-time initiation fee of only $495 and $150 monthly dues. As I mentioned before, our main purpose behind creating this club and providing this system to you is to turn you into a wealthy and powerful individual. Then you must be wondering, why do you have to pay for the membership? You know, the amount you are paying is to take care of your membership. The club has an office, staff members, designers, developers, people who manage the activities of the club and so forth, and they are all working every day to make sure you have the greatest member experience. Therefore there are bills to pay like rent and electricity, and salaries and fees that the club need to pay to its staff and accountants and so forth. You are paying just enough to take care of those things. So to join the Global Information Network, there is a one-time initiation fee of $495 and $150 monthly dues. Plus, you will also receive over $9,000 worth of bonuses which I'm going to reveal to you soon. Before I reveal the link to become a member of the Global Information Network, I would love to tell you a few things. We only kept a very limited number of seats available for new members to join. We keep memberships open only to a certain number of people every time in order to not overflow the club with too many new members. We cannot take in countless number of people into the club all at once. Therefore, this time we kept a very few number of seats available for new members to join. I'm going to provide you the link for you to join. But once the seats are filled, the link will not work anymore. If you find the link doesn't work, consider the seats are filled. I'm sure so many of you who are watching this interview right now are excited to join the Global Information Network. Therefore I encourage you to take action immediately and become a member right away. Here is the link you can go to sign up as a member of the Global Information Network. Go to www.ginmemberinvite.com/sign up. You can just go to the URL you see on the screen right now. Enter the URL and you'll find the details to join this private and exclusive club, the Global Information Network. My dear friends, leave the failure system behind once and for all. It is purposely put on you by the parasitical elite to fail you and to always keep you in a lower level. Just get into the success system that all ultra-wealthy and powerful elite class of people are a part of. You know all the elite class of people are members of the societies. Do you want to be one of them? Do you want to be an eagle? Then start adapting the ways of an eagle and do what eagles do. Take action right now and join and become a member immediately. Just go to the URL and join the club right now. We are willing to put our entire support structure behind you. We are willing to literally support you throughout your whole life. Just go to the URL right now and become a member. We have some amazing additions and bonuses coming up. Before I reveal them to you, just go to the URL www.ginmemberinvite.com/sign up. We have very limited seats available. Just go to the URL right now and become a member. I am also going to share with you some amazing and powerful bonuses in a minute. So hang tight for that. Now, think about this for a moment. What other options do you have? Where else would you get this 3-step success system? Where would you get the secret knowledge? Where else would you get to surround yourself with other wealthy and powerful people and receive support and cooperation from them? Where else would you get access to the ground floor business opportunities which will allow you to generate massive amounts of wealth? Where else would you get this? There is no club out there for normal people in the real world, which allows you to raise to the levels we have raised to and have this level of support. Think about that. Go to the URL you see on the screen right now and become a member before the seats get filled. Okay, let's move forward. Before I reveal the bonuses, I'm going to talk about one of the members of the Global Information Network. His name is Cameron Cope. Cameron was born to a 16-year-old mother, in a poor part of Houston between a trailer park and the railroad tracks. Since he was 11, he was raised by his stepmother. He had faced some really challenging situations in his life. He became a member of the Global Information Network a few years ago, and got access to the system which gave him the right knowledge and allowed him to build connections with some powerful people that are also part of the club. With the help and support of the network he was given major business opportunities. He had co-founded a global corporation with 3 other members. Over the years his corporation generated millions and millions of dollars in revenue. He, along with other 2 co-founders, were interviewed by William Shatner and Donald J. Trump Jr. He is currently on his way toward building his billion-dollar empire. He is one of the many incredible success stories that the club has. And by the way, one of his co-founders was also his wife, and she is also a member of this club. They are all working together and generating massive amounts of wealth and impacting the lives of the people around the world. Here is his quick video. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Cameron Cope, and the reason why I'm a GIN member is because I have a lot of goals and dreams that I want to accomplish in my life. And like a lot of people, I'm sure, I wasn't born into a privileged family, so I didn't grow up with all of the knowledge and all of the relationships that are necessary to really succeed and fulfill the dreams that I have. So I joined the Global Information Network to be a part of a group that would allow me to succeed in life. And since joining, my life has changed completely. Since joining, I've started my own business. I have distributors around the world. I've been on TV twice, interviewed by Donald Trump Jr. and William Shatner on Fox Business and Bloomberg. I've had amazing relationships. I've lost over 65 pounds. My relationship with my wife is just become more and more supportive for the both of us. She's also a member, and we support each other in that. If you're considering becoming a member and you're maybe on the fence or not sure really what to make of the whole thing, I would really highly recommend that you come to a major event. I've been to every event since I joined, and it's my favorite thing. I plug into every aspect of the system, but I really feel that unless you come to the events, you get to see members face to face. You get to see what we're really all about. And being around other members, building relationships is really, in my opinion, one of the major keys to success. And really, I believe maybe I could be successful without Jen, but I think it would maybe take me far longer than I want to. I really feel like it's so integral to my success in life, and it's a lot of fun. So I really encourage you to check out the club, come to a major event, see what we're about. I'd love to meet you in person, and I hope to see you at the next event. Thanks.
These are just a few of our members who've had a major success within the Global Information Network, and there are countless others who had similar and even bigger successes. I can spend countless hours sharing the success stories of the members of the Global Information Network. As I told you before, success is inevitable to anyone who is a part of the success system. I highly encourage you to take action and become a part of the success system. Go to the URL you see on the screen and become a member right now. Like Cameron said in the video, you are not born into the privileged family. You don't have the knowledge and the connections and opportunities that the elite class of people have access to. But right now, by becoming a member of the Global Information Network, you are going to get just that. Go to the URL you see on the screen and make it happen. Become a member right now. Alright. I am now going to reveal some great bonuses you are going to get today. Bonus number 1. I mentioned before that the Global Information Network has 2 major events every year. The members of the club from all around the world come together and participate. The Global Information Network has a major event coming up. This is going to be such a spectacular event. Every person who becomes a member right now is going to get a free ticket to our upcoming major event. Do you want to meet people like Ed Foreman and Cameron Cope? Do you want to build powerful connections and start networking with wealthy and successful people? Well, here is your ticket to the Jin's upcoming major event. The ticket itself is worth over $2,497. Next, bonus number 2. Every person who becomes a member today is going to get a free lifetime membership to the Natural Cures website. Natural Cures is an online guide to overall health and wellness. You basically have natural cure for every ailment you can think of. You will also get an audiobook called Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. This book reveals some top-level information that the parasitical elite that control the food, medical and health industry don't want you to know about. This is a must-have book because health is your primary wealth. This can change for the better the way you live the rest of your life. The value of the lifetime membership and the audiobook is worth over $6,997. But right now you are getting it for absolutely free. And finally, bonus number 3. Bonus number 3 is called the Share Jin Bonus Program. So what is the Share Jin Bonus Program? You know, we wanted to create an environment of helpfulness and sharing. Therefore, if you share the Global Information Network with other people, and just like you if they choose to become a member, from their one-time initiation fee you'll earn approximately 50%, which is you will receive $250 in real cash. For example, you join the Global Information Network, and you paid $495 one-time initiation fee to become a member. And when you help sign up one person into the club, you will receive $250 in real cash from their one-time initiation fee. Now think about it. When you enrolled 2 people over time on planet Earth into the Global Information Network, you have now earned $500. So in effect you have now covered your one-time initiation fee. Now here is the interesting thing. At the point at which you have enrolled 5 people into the Global Information Network, you have earned $250 every time you personally enrolled someone into Jin from their one-time initiation fee. So if you take 5 times $250, you've earned $1,250 in cash money just by helping a handful of people on planet Earth. Plus, when you enroll 5 people you not only earn $1,250, you also no longer need to pay $150 monthly dues. You are virtually getting the benefits of the club membership for absolutely free. You are virtually in this club for free. We call it the Share Jin Bonus Program. We do this as a thank you for caring enough about other people and their success, and for allowing them to become a part of the success system, which gives them every single advantage to become exceptionally successful. My dear friends, just look at the immense value you are getting today. The value of the bonuses that you are getting today is alone $9,494. That's over $9,000. And the real value of the system you are getting today is over $287,000. Altogether, the system and the bonuses combined, you are getting a value of over $297,000. That's almost $300,000 of value you are getting today. And how much are you paying to join the club and to become a member? You are just paying $495 one-time initiation fee and $150 monthly dues. That is not even 1% of the entire value of the system you are getting today. The amount you are paying to become a member does not even cover the bonuses we are providing you with today, let alone the actual value of the system we are providing you with. Plus you also have an opportunity to make your money back and become a free member through the Share Gin bonus program. My dear friends, we literally wanted to keep this club very affordable to you and give you incredible value as ever before. And I have to tell you we achieved in doing that, and we did a great job. We did it for you, but now it is your turn to take action and take advantage of it. Take action right now and become a member. Take this advantage. Just go to the URL www.ginmemberinvite.com/sign up. Go to the URL you see on the screen and become a member of this private and exclusive club, the Global Information Network. Take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because you may not get it immediately once the seats are filled. You might have to wait for a very long time before we keep seats available for new members to join. My dear friends, if you are not a member of a private club, you will never be outrageously successful. Period. You need the secret knowledge. You need to surround yourself with wealthy and successful people and receive support and cooperation from them, and you need ground floor business opportunities. And if you are not part of a private club, you will never get access to the system and you'll never achieve outrageous wealth and success. The truth is, you are being programmed for failure every single day in the real world, because you are a part of the failure system and surrounded by average and negative people who are also part of it, and you are just conforming to them every single day. You are at every single disadvantage to become successful. Do you want to be an eagle? Do you want to be rich, powerful and live your life at the highest levels? Or do you want to be average? Ordinary? And live a low-level life and end up like a chicken? What do you want? If you want to be an eagle, you must learn the ways of an eagle. One of the ways of all super wealthy and powerful people is that they are all members of various societies. We already talked about it. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, George Bush, Abraham Lincoln, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie and all the people you see in Forbes 400. Every single one of them are members of various societies. Why are they members of the societies? Because they know the power of the success system. Do you want to become exceptionally wealthy and successful? Then you must be a part of this club. You must do what the above-mentioned wealthy and successful people do. Let me tell you something. Why bother reinventing the whole wheel, when the wheel has already been invented, and has been proven to work wonderfully throughout the history? Why try to reinvent and come up with your own ways, when these ways have been working marvelously for centuries? There is a friend of mine. Brilliant guy and a super wealthy individual. I deeply admire him. He often says, "Joe, whatever you want to do in life, there is the right way, there is the wrong way, and there is your way. Which way do you want to take?" Now I am asking you the same question. Do you have a desire to become rich and have absolute freedom? Do you have a desire to reach to the highest levels in life? Do you want to enable your next generations live a spectacular life and have your next generations be born into the success system? And give them access to the three-step system right from the beginning? Which route do you want to take? The right way? The wrong way? Or, do you want to take your own way which is also the wrong way? This is why I am saying, why are you trying to reinvent the whole wheel, when the wheel has already been invented centuries ago and proven to work seamlessly throughout the centuries? Why struggle and suffer trying to find something, when there is already a system that has been a cause behind the success of so many incredibly wealthy, powerful and extremely successful individuals? Mr. Ed Foreman puts it this way. He says, if you are satisfied with the status quo, if you are comfortable with where you are, if your future is acceptable, if nothing unusual happens, then just keep on doing what you have been doing. On the other hand, if you'd like to live a wonderful, happier, healthier, richer and more dynamic life, you'll need to upgrade things in your life. You need to upgrade to a new system. He also says, in order to become someone you never were before, you must go somewhere you've never been before. Let me repeat that. In order to become someone you never were before, you must go somewhere you've never been before, and the Global Information Network can take you there. This is your opportunity. Stop being that single stick. Leave the failure system behind once and for all. There is no good being there. Come be a part of the success system. Just go to the URL you see on the screen and become a member of the Global Information Network. I want to congratulate all of you who made it happen. You are going to embark on a spectacular and a magical journey. Consider your life has just begun. I'm excited and can't wait to see the speed at which you will achieve outrageous levels of success and generate massive amounts of wealth. My heart will be filled with love and excitement to see you all achieving that. And finally, as a group, like redwood trees, we share our strengths and power with everyone and we become more and more powerful, and together we go about changing the world once and for all. We are all excited about this journey and this mission. If you haven't signed up yet, just go to the URL you see on the screen right now. I sincerely thank everyone for participating in this interview today. It is our pleasure and also we believe it is our responsibility to help you learn about the system, which has been the cause behind the success of extremely wealthy and powerful people throughout the history. And most importantly, it is our pleasure to help you become a part of this system and the club, the Global Information Network. We are done with this interview right now. Thank you once again for tuning in. It was so lovely to present this to you. I wish you the best life. I love you. All of you.